Chapter 1. Blog Commenting Basics. A synopsis. Simply put, blog commenting is another way of describing comments made on other individuals' blogs. These kinds of comments or notes are usually posted on blogs, which the individual has visited and finds interesting enough to take the time to make a comment. The background. Though a common practice for some, this leaving comments practice can be made into an exercise or tool for marketing purposes. Perhaps the next time one decides to make a contribution via the commenting style, one should consider the advantages it could bring about in terms of creating an interest in the comment that leads to traffic back to the individual site. The blog commenting, if done well, and with a certain level of respect for other bloggers and their contributions, can help form a very fruitful relationship between the various parties involved. When the comments are thoughtful and informative, most would appreciate the effort and time taken to post the comment. Also, in doing so, the individual is able to create awareness of his or her own presence within the others who may visit the said site and read the comments. Thus, a following can be formed whereby those interested in further exploring the commenter's other works would then visit the commenter's site. In actively practicing the habit of leaving and reading comments posted, the individual is also able to broaden his or her own knowledge base. This, of course, would be very helpful should a query be made on the topic just commented upon, where the individual is now knowledgeable enough to be able to advise or provide a suitable solution. However, is the process of making use of the blog commenting as a tool to garner traffic to one's own site. It should be remembered that there is a necessity to put the URL in the website or URI box and nowhere else. Chapter 2. The benefits of blog commenting. A synopsis. Blog comments are really very important to the consistent popularity of any site. This style of commenting can be beneficial to all parties concerned. How you benefit. The benefits of encouraging blog comments can be positive and far-reaching. From the perspective to keeping the site lively and interactive, blog comments are the dominant force in producing such an environment. When a site has the constant exchange of comments, there will be a steady flow of interest in the site or blog, because the people involved in the commenting would want to view the responses to their comments. This also applies to those visitors who are not physically participating in the commenting process, but are only interested in viewing the comments. Therefore, the high traffic drawn to the site would be an important benefit. Another benefit would be the links that can be affiliated to the site, as all blogs and website depend on as many links as possible receiving, and making comments on blogs would then create the possibility of valuable backlinks. This, of course, would depend on the comments and its frequency. With this exchange of links, a further audience is reached, which translates into a heightened level of traffic flow. The popularity of the site and the heightened traffic to the site will then attract the search engines to rank the website favorably. This is a feature that most sites work hard to achieve, as it speaks on some level about the positive attributes of the site. Another benefit to blog commenting is the further understanding of the site by others. With all the information being exchanged through the blog commenting process, a lot of very important information can be learnt and realized. This kind of information exchange can sometimes be more effective than advertising. Chapter 3. How to use blog commenting correctly. A synopsis. Serious blog commenting should not be underestimated as an effective tool for marketing strategies. Active posting of comments can and will create a platform for attracting potential visitors' attention. Get a grip on it, keeping in mind the foremost principle of bringing value to a blog or site is what makes the difference between irresponsible commenting and positive informative commenting. If the exchanges are kept friendly, informative, and accurate, then the exercise would prove effective to the site. When embarking on a blog commenting session, one must always try to keep the comments professional, as this would portray the expertise of the commentator, which in turn would effectively create the traffic flow both in viewership and in others who may want to make comments. The style of commenting done would also establish the individual position within the blogging community. When this acceptance evolves into a platform for the individual's comments to be actively sought, the effectiveness of the exercise would then also make the site a viable and popularly sought link. Basically, it all centered around the contents of the comments posted. The better the comments, the more effective the draw will be for heightened traffic flow. Being a part of top commenter sites will also be an effective way to ensure interest in one's own site because of the backlinks factor. This will automatically be done around sites that already have a loyal following, and any newcomer with fresh ideas and view would be very much welcomed if the contributing comments are positive and informative. Trying to keep to a strict routine of making at least 5 comments a day is encouraged, as this would mean the individual is already in possession of a fairly commendable RSS feed list. When these comments build up to a significantly large amount, there would be the added advantage of the comments then being visible on the technocratic profile, which would make the site ratings even more effective. Chapter 4: Making Money with Blog Commenting. A synopsis: certain tools work better than others in specific areas of attracting traffic. Understanding and capitalizing on these features often prove to have very positive results. So it is with blog commenting too, whereby the individual is able to actually make money without having to invest huge monetary incentives. The revenue: making sure there is a URL in place with the correct formatting platform will ensure good backlinks. These backlinks are the key to providing the desired traffic to the site, which is how the revenue will be earned. The interest created through the blog commenting should work as an effective drawing mechanism for the individual's own site. Because these blog commenting platforms are an essential part of the marketing strategy used for search engines, the goal is to create a good and active blog commenting arena. In general, the commenting is actually what draws attention to the product or service being provided, without having to actually resort to huge and costly advertising campaigns. Basically traffic, and the more of it equates a lot of revenue for any particular site, and blog commenting can play a big part in ensuring this. Blog commenting is a relatively free technique of driving traffic to a specific site. Thus, by ensuring the blog commenting is done with an already active site, this simple tool can evolve into becoming indispensable. When the individual site is able to draw a huge amount of traffic, there may be other interested parties who would be willing to pay a fee to have the site within their own. This is another way of earning revenue that is brought about by successful blog commenting. It can also provide the platform for any interested parties who may want to engage the services of the said blog commenter, thus again creating the revenue-earning platform. Chapter 5: Subscribing and Branding. A synopsis: this is the chief thing. Among the most crucial things to do when attempting to comment on blogs for hits is to understand when these blogs are updated. There are a lot of ways to know when these blogs are updated, and among the best ways to do this is by subscribing through email or feed. Things to do: the delight of getting high-quality hits from blog commenting is in being the first or one of the first 3 to comment. If you're not, you may still get hits However, the hits won't be as much as that of those who are the first to comment. There are a lot of drawbacks to subscribing to blogs through email when attempting to comment on blogs for hits. And among these drawbacks is that email to blog posts isn't delivered instantly after the post is live, however, might take a long time to deliver. A few bloggers' email feed won't deliver till the second day the blog post is live. And before you know it, the post would have been filled up with comments, thereby leading to a decrease in the type of hits you are able to get. I lately discovered one awesome solution which helps me be the first, or among the first, to comment on a lot of blogs once a blog post is live. You may have heard of this tool previously, however, you most likely would have been taking it with levity. This awesome tool is called Comment Sniper. Comment Sniper simplifies the procedure of being the first to comment on blogs once the content has been updated, and it will send word to you immediately. There is a fresh post on a blog. This tool is so awesome, and it's my main secret to being the first to comment on blogs. If you discover me to be the second or third, then this is an issue on my own path. Even though blog commenting is so awesome for getting superior hits to your blog, I've noted one issue, and that issue is with not branding your comments. Branding your comments may come in a lot of ways, and among them is that you must have a gravatar. The default gravatar that comes with WordPress has been overused, and this will provide you little to no hits. A different great thing besides having a gravatar is the caliber of your avatar. It's really crucial to have a highly personalized avatar, as this will make individuals more curious to know more about you, thereby making them click to your website. You'll be able to get started by getting your gravatar at gravatar.com. A different great way to brand your comments is by bearing a fixed blog commenting style. For instance, a few individuals will go on commenting on blogs with names like Web Design Company, Now, and Software Company, Tomorrow. This may never help you stick out, as there are a lot of web design companies out there. However, it will only make the issue tougher, as you'll be seen as a spammer both by the blogger and his readers. If you'd like to have the name of your blog or your keyword in your title, then you are able to have it following your name in any of these formats: your name, whatever blog, or your name, whatever blog. Chapter 6, What to Avoid. A synopsis. Of course, the most obvious would be not to make enemies by posting ridiculously untrue or seditious comments. Although at first, these comments may produce the desired effects of getting a lot of responses or attention. However, it will definitely not last and may end up getting the blogger discredited and banned. Watch this. Another thing to avoid is creating comments for personal gain only, such as spamming to endorse products promoted on the individual site. This, of course, is even worse when the said product or service is not a niche product, and the interest is only directing traffic to their site. This seemingly simply annoying ploy can cause the individual to face serious repercussions, which may be as serious as being charged with cyber criminal activities. Avoid using keywords in the comment name section. Several search engines have since classified this as spamming, which in their opinion comes under the category of online sellers over promoting their companies, products, or services. To avoid search engines from resorting to disabling the links, one should avoid these name optimizations or keywords altogether. Avoid making comments that can be perceived as rubbish. Whenever a comment is posted, the individual should take the time and trouble to ensure the comment has some sense of legitimacy and credibility. Randomly making comments without the proper backup material to prove its authenticity will only cause the blog commenter to be eventually get kicked out or blocked by other blog owners. Avoid having a callous attitude when attempting to blog comment. The individual should treat other sites the way they would like to be treated. All rules and practices of other sites must be adhered to. Always practice the idea of being open and accepting of other views and comments, even if the said comment are contrary to one's own beliefs. Wrapping up, there are a few really of important things you must think about when attempting to comment to build traffic to your blog, particularly when remarking on an A-list blog. Among the most crucial things to think about when attempting to establish traffic through blog remarking is the quality of your remark. It will make no sense remarking about bananas when the writer of the post is speaking about oranges. A different type of comment you ought to attempt to avoid making as much as you are is the ones that state, "Great post," and so forth. Among the first steps to take when attempting to acquire the best from your blog remarking efforts is to make certain you read the post exhaustively before you leave your comment. This is, as you'll have gotten insights into what the blogger is discussing, you'll likewise acquire a lot of knowledge, and your comment won't just be pointless. Occasionally, making fairly long and controversial comments likewise brings about awesome results, as many of the blogger's readers will see you as somebody who's knowledgeable about the subject, thereby seeing your blog as an awesome resource or hub for learning more about the issue. It isn't a must to deliberately be controversial, as this may backfire, but try your best to make certain your comment adds to the conversation going on. Blog remarking is among the best ways to acquire traffic to a blog, and contrary to a lot of additional traffic generation methods, it likewise has a few rules to follow if you wish to acquire the best from it. Hopefully, this book has helped you.